Good afternoon to you, Mark Sutton with HurricaneTrack.com here with your Hurricane Pro and HD video blog for the 28th of August 2015. I have a little bit of a cold here, so bear with me. We'll try to keep the throat clearing and the to a minimum. Looking at Erika, what a pain in the neck this has been the last few days. Getting people in Florida and the Bahamas here all riled up. Maybe that's too strong a word, but certainly it had everybody's attention because of the potential of it becoming a hurricane. But as we see here in the western Atlantic shot, that doesn't look like any hurricane I've ever seen. Very disorganized circulation, and it's interacting now with Hispaniola. Looking at a close-up shot, you can see a fairly broad circulation associated with Erika. Limited convection on the south and east side. A little bit of an outflow boundary here at the surface, indicating air spreading out and away down below. You're not supposed to see that. Air is supposed to be coming into the system at the bottom, at the surface, not spreading away from it. So it has a lot of negatives, not the least of which is this huge hurdle sitting in front of it. If there's anything left up in this neck of the woods or over here, I mean, who knows where it's going to go, right? I mean, it's been supposedly going to turn northwest across Hispaniola, as you can see here in the forecast track from earlier today, but it's not doing so. In fact, the 2 p.m. just came out, the intermediate advisory, and it's still moving generally off to the west and not northwest to get it over Hispaniola in any short order. So the models, probably worthless. They have been the last few days, and they have. I mean, they've told us that this was going to end up somewhere in here, maybe up into the Carolinas, and instead it's come in south of all the guidance, and almost all of it probably. And it's been weak, and so it's been further south and west. Not hard to figure that out, but it certainly has been kind of maddening to not really know what's going to happen. You know, you don't want a hurricane coming at you necessarily, right? Most people don't. But if there is, you want to have faith in the fact that the forecast models and then the official forecast itself can be reliable. And in this case, through no fault of anybody's own, I mean, it's just the way it is sometimes, the models have been unreliable. So I give them an F for now. That's the only way to look at it. The intensity, you know, kind of doesn't matter either, but I'll show you anyway. And this is a great product that comes out from the National Center for Atmospheric Research out in Boulder, Colorado. It's nice that they provide this wonderful graphic. GFDL and its different model runs, forget it, not going to happen. But what's interesting to me is this green one here, the ship's intensity, does bring it up into Category 1 territory. Why does it do that, considering it's supposed to go over land and the shear could be high? Well, we'll see. Maybe this model, depending on which track they ran it on, sees a little bit of a favorable opportunity for this to develop. There are some things in Erika's favor. Very high ocean heat content in this region. If it comes tracking across the Florida Straits and up into the eastern Gulf, very high upper ocean heat content. The actual sea surface temperature right at the surface, very warm, 87, 88, 90, 91 degrees in some places, all through this area, ripe for something to develop. And it can do so in short order, believe me. And I am not trying to hype anything up or make it more than it is. But remember, intensity forecasting is where the least amount of skill lies, and a small system can ramp up very quickly. We saw that with Danny. We saw that with Hurricane Umberto over in this neck of the woods back in 2007. Became an 85-mile-per-hour hurricane in like 6 to 12 hours, something like that. And there are other examples. So just don't go away this weekend thinking that nothing's going to happen. Hopefully that'll be the case. But remember, hope by itself, not a good planning tool. What we do see, lighter shear through this area right here. And by lighter, 20, 15, 10 knots maybe. It all depends on where Erika is located or the leftovers of it. So we'll see what happens. In the Pacific, not to be ignored, Hurricane Ignacio, for the most part, moving northwest in the general direction of Hawaii, certainly with the cone of uncertainty. but the center forecast to remain to the north and east of the island chain. There will be an increase in swells along some of these beaches here that face the ocean and the direction from where Ignacio is coming from. And then farther to the east is Hurricane Hamina. And just to give you perspective of where Hawaii would be, 20 degrees latitude here would continue out. And then somewhere in this area would be about 150 degrees longitude, and Hawaii starts over here. All right, pretty good geography, right? So you see, Hamina has a long way to go. This is the 5-day forecast position. So Hawaii being somewhere off the map over here, we're talking 6, 7, 8 days away. So no worries in that neck of the woods just yet. All right, we'll keep an eye on what's going on. You got a great set of apps with Hurricane Pro and Hurricane HD to keep up with what's going on. And I'll post video blogs throughout the weekend if necessary. But I do think, I will throw this in, that we're getting ready to see, this is the last advisory on Erika unless regeneration occurs. I think they're getting ready for that phrase. So, pardon me, I made it almost without a cough. So we'll see what happens, all right? Have a good rest of your Friday and a great weekend ahead. I'm Mark Sudduth for HurricaneTrack.com and, of course, Hurricane Pro and HD. I'll talk to you again certainly at some point over the weekend.